All right. Will you guys rearrange yourselves like the report? Okay. So we're going to take a look at a different way to solve quadratic equations today, on account of because not all quadratic equations look like the ones that we were working with yesterday. X squared minus 144, or x squared minus 25, or x squared minus 36, okay? Those were set up in a particular way so that they would work out really easily. Thank you, Oscar. Okay, so we're going to start slow. We're going to build this. If I said to you that 5x equals 0, and I asked you, what does x equal?
0.
You would tell me 0, right?
0.
Because,
0.
Cheyenne, 5 times 0 is
0.
0. Okay?
Yes.
Now let's change this and say that instead of 5 times x, it's 0. Now x times y is equal to 0. Okay? Tell me 2 things that you know for sure about the answer to this problem. That one of them has to be 0, right? So we don't know which one, but we know that since they multiply together to equal 0, either x has to equal 0 or y is equal to 0, right? Because if 2 things multiply together to equal 0 by something called the zero product property, one of them has to equal 0, correct? Okay, so now let's make things a little bit more fun.
No.
Let's say now you know x times x minus 3 equals 0. True. What can you tell me is true about the answers to that?
That one of them is still 0.
Right, one possible answer is that x could equal 0, right? Because if x is equal to 0, it doesn't matter what this stuff is, because we know 0 times that stuff is going to work out to be 0, right? What's the other answer that x could be?
3.
X could also equal 3, because if I put 3 into here, 3 minus 3 equals 0, right? And then as long as this is 0, the whole thing is 0, all right? So basically what we did there is I said, since these 2 things multiply together to equal 0, either x has to be 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. And x equals 0 is already, please stop doing that, Jacob, solved. To solve x minus 3 equals 0, I just add 3 to both sides and get x equals 3. Okay? All right, you guys think you're so smart? What if x minus 2 times x plus 1 equals 0? What are the 2 answers that x could be to make that work? Nope. Because if I hold on. If I plug in 0 right here for x, is 0 minus 2 equal to 0? No. Is 0 plus 1 equal to 0? No. So the only reason why this worked as 0 before is because I wasn't adding or subtracting anything from it. Okay? What do I have to plug in for x into here to get x minus 2 to equal 0? 2. What do I have to plug in for x right here to get x plus 1 equal to 0? -1, because -1 plus 1 equals 0. Okay? So all of these problems are the same. And then you have 2 things being multiplied together to equal 0, so that means one of them has to equal 0. Okay? And then finally, we can get crazier and do the last one. What if 4t plus 1 times t minus 2 equals 0? What would t have to equal? My two choices. What's the easy one? No, 2. What? It's not 2, it's 2. Oh, did you say 2? Oh, because I said 2. Okay, for this one right here, if t equals 2, 2 minus 2 equals 0, right? But how in the world do you figure out what to plug in for t right there to get 4t plus 1 to equal 0?
Divide 4 by 1.
Not yet. What do I do first before I divide by 4?
Subtract 1.
Subtract 1. So I have to subtract 1 from both sides. So that tells me that 4t equals negative 1. Now
Divide 4 by 8.
divide by 4. And so the other thing that t could equal is negative 1/4, right? Because if I go 4 times negative 1/4, what do I get? Negative 1. And then negative 1 plus 1 is 0. And so then it will work. Okay? Since you stumbled on that just a little bit, let's do one more of those. Since Reed didn't like it, let's keep doing it.
I need to learn, Francis. Don't judge me.
Okay, 2 answers for x. The easy one is that x could equal what? 4. Because 4 minus 4 is 0. To figure this one out, we've got to do a little bit of extra work. So I have to write 2x plus 3 equals 0. Minus 3 from both sides. So 2x equals negative 3. Then divide by 2. And so x equals negative 3 over 2. Okay? You got it? Pretty easy? Okay, good. Good deal. All right. Yeah, let's stop there with the easy one. Okay? And then tomorrow we'll make things a little bit trickier for you. Make another cool picture.
Mr. Alder, Francis just told me that if I can convince that anybody in the class can
Yeah, true.
No, I think if I can do this, then it's outrun myself.
you do this.
Let's fix that.
Oh, wait, I was making a cool picture.
Oh, gosh.
What is that supposed to be?
I don't know.
I'll give you the offer.